Alright friends, so now we're gonna speak about dimensions that they are kinda special, so they play different roles in different scenarios. That's why we call them the role-playing dimensions.
What do you think of role play?
So now, let's understand what this means. Okay, so now in order to understand it, we're gonna have this very simple scenario where we have two dimensions, the salespersons and as well the managers. Both of them are connected to the fact sales. And now with this setup, I can go and find out the total sales, for example, per person. If I go to the Anna here, I can see that she made 2 orders and the total sales is around 1500. Same thing if I go to other salesperson like Carlos, Diana. With that, I'm able to find out the total sales and the total number of orders. But now if I go to the other dimension, to the managers, and I go and select the team of Pop, I'm gonna see the total number of orders and as well the total number of sales for the whole team. And his team has only 2 persons, so the 1 and the 2, so Anna and Carlos. And same thing if I go and check the other manager, I'm gonna see as well the total sales for that team. So far nothing is crazy, right? It is working. But now what could happen in real business is that one of the managers, like for example Pop, he can go and sometime close some sales. So that means if I look to Pop as a salesperson, I can go over here and see, okay, he closed 2 sales and I can see the total amount of sales. And if I look at Pop as a manager, I'm gonna see now the total number of sales and orders for the whole team. So that means I can look at Pop in 2 directions, one as a salesperson and another as a manager. So far there is no big problem, but the issue is that the design of the data model, we have the same person in 2 dimensions. So that means we have double informations, and this is not really good. Because for example, now if maybe Pop now change his name or address or whatever, we have information inside the dimension, I have to go now and update both of the dimensions. Of course here it's a very simple example, but over the time this is going to be really hard to maintain and to manage. And as well, this is a bad design if I make like a dimension for each role. Maybe next day I'm gonna get like a new role, like an account owner. Then we're gonna have like a 3rd dimension about the persons, and then we're gonna have maybe Pop in all 3 dimensions. So that means you're gonna lose control quickly if you start splitting the dimensions by the role, especially if they are identical. You can see here we have the same columns. You have ID, name, team, ID, name, team. So they have the same schema. The only difference is the role. So now, of course, what is the solution? It is very obvious. We're gonna go and bring all those dimensions that are identical, and we're gonna bring them into one dimension that's gonna play different roles. Okay, so now how it gonna looks like in the modeling, we're gonna go and combine those 2 dimensions into one generic dimension called employee. So before it was splitted by the role, but now we have it generic. And of course in the future, if we had like an HR dimension, we can go and always fit it inside the employee. So with that, we have like single point of truth for people inside the company. Now of course each person gonna be one row inside the dimension. And now if we do this, of course we have to be careful not to lose information from the model. Like for example, before we had a manager, we had a salespersons. Those informations were the table name, and they are of course important in the model. But now instead of having them in the names, we're gonna go and put them as values inside a new column called a role, so that we have one complete dimension that is ready to be reused multiple times inside the facts. Now by looking to this, you can see that our dimension gonna play 2 roles, right? Salesperson and a manager. And for that we have to go and create 2 relationships, one for the salesperson and one for the manager. And of course in Power BI we cannot have both of them active. One of them gonna be active and the rest gonna be inactive. So for now, for example, the salesperson gonna be the active relationship and the manager gonna be the inactive. So now let's have an example like before. Let's see the total sales for Anna. We can see we're still gonna get the total sales, the 2 orders. Same thing if I go to Carlos, to Diana, and as well to our manager Pop. So by looking to this, our dimension now is playing the role of the salesperson. But now let's say that I would like now to switch the roles, and I would like to see the total sales for the whole team, for the managers. So that means we have to switch roles for this dimension, and we can do that by using the other relationship, the manager one. Of course, we can do that using DAX. And now the dimension employee is playing this role. So if I go to Pop, I will not see the sales of Pop. I'm gonna see the sales of the whole team. Same thing if I go to the other manager, I'm gonna see as well the sales of the whole team. Now if I go to Anna, Carlos, Diana, I will not see anything because they are not managers. They don't have teams. So as you can see, I'm using the same table, but from two different perspectives. One as a salesperson and another one as a manager. Now imagine you have a third role. All what you have to do is to go and create a new relationship between those two tables, and you use that relationship in order to play another role for this dimension. So that's why, my friends, we call the dimension employee is a role-playing dimension. It is just a dimension that is playing different roles for the same fact table by using multiple relationships to it and only using one active relationship at a time. And of course, we switch roles by using DAX function called the user relationship. So this is what we mean with the role-playing dimension. Now let's go to Power BI and see how we're gonna do that. Okay, so as usual, we're gonna go and connect our dimensions. This time we're gonna go and get to the managers and as well the salespersons. So this one over here. Load. Now at the start, if you are not investigating about those new dimensions, you're going to see, okay, we have here a manager ID. So I'm going to go and connect it with the fact. Looks good, one to many. So I'm not hurting the star schema. Same thing for the salespersons. I have an ID for it in the fact. So I'm going to go and connect it as well, one to many. So at the start, things looks healthy, right? But now if you go and investigate the data itself, you're gonna see that the dimension manager has like an ID, name, email, team, and it's gonna look identical to the salesperson. We have as well ID, name, email, team, and so on. So this is gonna be like an indicator for you to say, you know what, let's go and make from this role-playing dimension. So of course now the question is, how are we gonna merge those two into one dimension? As usual, we have to do transformations using Power Query. So let's go to transform data. Okay, so now we are inside and we see here the manager and the person. Of course, in order to make a union between those two tables, we have to stack them. And for that, we have the append queries. We are not merging. So we are just like stacking the tables on top of each other's. But now if we do this immediately, we can lose a very important information to understand where the data come from. So for example, here is Anna is a salesperson or a manager. That's why before we append, we have to go and add a column. That's gonna help us to understand the source of each row. So in order to add a new column, we're gonna go over here and say add column. We're gonna go and say custom column. So we're going to give it a name. It's going to be the role. And now we have to define what is the value for each row. This is going to be a static value. So we will not go and select any other available columns. It's going to be always a same static value, the sales person. So actually that's it. This is the column name and this is the static value. Let's go and say okay. And now with this, we can see for each row, we have the same value, salesperson. Now we have to go and do the same thing for the managers so that we don't lose this important information. Again, a custom column, it's gonna be the role and a static value. So you're gonna be the manager. That's it. Let's go and hit OK. Look at this. We have for each person now the role of manager. Okay, so with this, we prepare the two dimensions now to get appended. I'm gonna go to the salesperson, then home. And we're going to go and say append. So we are appending two tables. Append to the table manager. All right. Now look at this. Each person has the role of manager. So with this, we have now the role for the two tables. The last thing that we're going to do is that before we append, we have to make sure that all column names are the same. So here we have name, email, team, and so on. The only difference is actually the ID. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go and rename it. So instead of salesperson ID, it's going to be an ID. And same thing for the managers. We're going to go and rename it to ID. So as you can see, I'm trying to bring those two tables to become really identical. Only after preparation, we go and merge the two dimensions into one. Now we are ready. So I'm going to go to the salesperson. And from here, I'm going to go and append the second table, the manager. All right, we are appending two tables. The second table going to be the dimension manager. Let's go and hit OK. Look at this. The main thing that we are not getting any nulls, which is perfect. So we have here now 10 persons, the names, the email, the team, and very important, of course, the role. Now, the last step that we're going to do is that we're going to go and rename this because this is not anymore the salesperson. This is a generic one, the role-playing dimension. So I'm going to go and call it dem employee. And of course, we don't need the manager, so I'm going to go and disable it. Don't enable load, so that we don't see it in our model. Okay, so this is our role-playing dimension. Let's go and save and close everything. Now look at this. We got only one dimension for the employee and not two. And of course, now comes the very important question, how to connect the role-playing dimension to our facts. So again, we have two roles, that means two relationships. The first one, I think it is working. So we have between the salesperson from the fact and the ID, and this is an active one, but we need the second one. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab the ID and now put it on the manager ID. So yes, this is one-to-many relationship, but of course we cannot activate it because we have already one active relationship to our facts. So look at this. This is exactly the role-playing dimension. You have two relationships. One of them is active and the other is inactive. All right, so with this, we are done with the data modeling. Now, of course, comes the big question, how are we going to go and use those two relationships at the same time? So let's go to the report view in order to make an example. At the start, let's go and see the total sales for each employee. So we're going to go grab the name, the role, and of course, we need the total sales, and that means we're going to go to the fact table and grab the line total and drop it over here. Now, of course, the question is, which relationship did Power BI uses in order to connect the employee and the sales? This is my friend, the active one. So that means it is connecting the ID with the salesperson and not the manager ID. Manager ID is inactive. And with this, we got a really nice total sales for each person. So far, nothing crazy, right? This is like the default setup in Power BI, but now of course comes the question, how are we gonna show side by side as well the total sales for each team, not for each individual person? So that means I would like to see the line total, but using the relationship manager ID to the dimension employee. Now of course, in order to do that, we have to go and create an extra calculation in the fact in order to use this relationship. So we're gonna go and write a DAX. So how to do it? Right click on the fact and say new measure. And then we get here a new window in order to write the calculation. I'm going to go and expand it. So now we can do it step by step. It is not that hard. So first of all, I'm going to call it sales by team. So this is the name of the new field. So now, of course, the question is what we are calculating. We are aggregating the line of total. So very simple. We're going to say sum, and then we're going to go and find the table. So it's going to be the fact sales, and we are searching for line total. So with this, you're going to get the total sales. But of course, if you leave it like this, then you're going to get the same effect like before. Power BI going to go and use the active relationship between the fact and the dimension. But no, we don't want that. We want Power BI to use the inactive relationship. And for that, we have the nice function, use relationship, so that I force Power BI to use it the way that I want. So here we just have to define the keys between the two tables. So it is between the fact sales, and this time we need the manager ID, and the manager ID goes to the dimension employee, and here we have only the ID. So it is very simple. We are just saying, okay, go and calculate the total sales, but use the relationship. Then we define the keys, so the manager ID to the employee ID. Now let's go and get out. Now look at this. We have new extra column inside our fact called sales by team. It has as well this calculation icon because we just calculated. It has as well this calculation item, means we are calculating this column. And now by looking to this, you have now the two options. Either you want the total sales using the active relationship by just dragging the line total like we have done at the start, or if you want the same measure but using another inactive relationship, we're gonna go and grab our calculation and put it in the visual. Look at this. I'm able now to see everything side by side. I can see over here, for example, Bob. You can see in one go his total sales as a salesperson and the total sales as a manager for his whole team. Now for Anna, of course, she has no team, so that's why we don't see any number. For the other managers, they are not making any sales. That's why you're gonna see here nulls, but you're gonna see their total sales for their teams. As you can see, my friends, in one go, in one visual, we are able to use multiple relationships between the two tables, the fact and the dimension. And this is exactly the power of the role-playing dimension. I don't have here like 2, 3, 4 tables. I have everything in one table in one go. And in the future, if I got like an access to another role, I'm gonna go and integrate it inside the employee table so that I reduce the number of dimensions around the fact. And I'm gonna be very flexible using the relationship relationships in order to do the aggregations. Okay, so now let's do a quick recap. Role-playing dimension, it is one dimension that plays multiple roles in the same fact. You're gonna use it when you see you have multiple entities that have the same structure, the same schema, and you're gonna have the fact that is pointing using multiple IDs to the same entity. Now, how to build it? You're gonna go and append everything together. Don't forget about the role column to understand the source of each role. Then after that, you're gonna create a relationship for each role. Don't forget one active and the rest gonna be inactive. And for each inactive relationship, you're gonna go as well and create a DAX calculation so that you go and use it inside your reports. The biggest benefit for this, you're gonna have one single point of truth for an entity. It's gonna force standards and it's gonna make your data model clean. And another benefit, the scaling gonna be really easy. If you got a new table, a new role, you just go and create a new relationship and one DAX calculation for it. And by the way, one very famous use case is the dimension date as a role-playing dimension, where you connect this dimension multiple times to the fact table for the order date, the ship date, the delivery date. As well, for this one, I found a lot of people doing this mistake where they go and create a dimension date for each date column inside the facts, which is total waste of space inside the data model. So my friends, this is how we use role-playing dimensions inside our data model.